first-time mom, your struggles are slightly different from the struggles of moms with older kids. In that, your little one is probably getting to hear wee or poo-poo or potty from you for the first time. Whereas moms with older kids, their little ones would probably have heard of those words from their older siblings, and those words are not new to them. In fact, their little ones probably would have seen their elder siblings visit the toilet to wee or to poo, or even sit on the potty or the WC. So it's not new to them. Potty training is in two phases. You have the daytime potty training and you have the nighttime potty training. But at this point, I would like you to know that it is important that you begin with the daytime potty training. How do I mean? First thing, you need to know when to potty train your kid. So in this video, I'm going to be answering questions like, when should I start potty training my kid? What planning should I put in place? How should I? And the likes. Let me quickly mention here that children reach different milestones at different times in their lives. Successfully potty training your child is not a yardstick to measure their intelligence. So please just give them their time. Allow them their peculiarities. Don't rush them and don't be judgmental. And don't compare your kid with any other. Your kid is special, is unique, will reach his or her milestone at his or her own pace. Some people say 2 years, 3 years. Some people say as soon as they clock 6 months. But from experience, I would suggest that you start potty training, or you prepare and plan to potty train your kid when first they start to talk. If your kid is able to, construct few sentences, some short sentences like mama, we, like mama, I like me. Such simple sentences. When your kid is able to walk unaided, when your kid is able to obey simple instructions like come, like go, like bring it, drop it, you know that your kid is ready for potty training, because in potty training, you need to dish out simple instructions. So I would suggest here that you do not potty train a child that is less than 20 months old. By 20 months old, earliest, you can start to potty train your child. But you need to put some measures in place. So that takes me to the next question, which is, are you ready to potty train? How ready are you? You see, as the mom, as the dad, as the caregiver, you actually need to prepare yourself mentally, physically, because I must tell you, it's not a stroll in the park. Seriously, it's not a child's play. It will require you planning. It will take your time. It will require you to, be consistent, and it will require you to expend energy. Part of your planning involves getting 2 brightly colored potties. You see, you need to involve these little ones when you're planning. So you take them out for shopping. You shop for 2 brightly colored potties, and you shop for brightly colored pants, because this is a major transition you want to achieve from using the diaper to using the panties. So you really need to involve them in choosing the type of pants they would really love. So planning also involves that you position these different potties in 2 different locations, strategic locations for that matter. First, you position one inside the bathroom, and next one you position in a place where your baby usually spends most time, like the living room. Part of planning also involves that you actually introduce these potties to them before you make them sit on the potties. You make them get familiar with the potties, so you can get creative about it. You can put their favorite toys in the potty. You include the potty into their favorite toys. You can place some of their favorite toys into the potty so that they know what a potty is. You should be able to identify what a potty is first of all. So involve the potty in their daily activities. Make mention of potties, poo-poo, wee-wee, often in the house. Talk about potty, talk about poo-poo, talk about wee-wee. Let them know, let them get familiar with those words even before you commence putting them, making them sit on the potties. At a point, I actually got a wrong size of diaper for my baby, and that was the time I decided it was time for me to start potty training. So what I did was I contacted the caregiver in school, and I informed her that I was going to start potty training my child, and that every Friday I wouldn't be wearing him diaper. But this brilliant woman came up with an idea that instead of doing that, why not start to potty train at home? Put him to potty in the morning before taking his bath, and if he's able to poo, then you don't need to wear the diaper. So we started doing that. If he was able to poo in the morning, I wouldn't bother to wear diaper for him. So I'll just put in extra pants and extra shorts. Perhaps, he accidentally weebies or poos on his body in school. So that thing really, really worked. So you can also adopt that method. Talk to your child's caregiver in school of, trying to potty train your baby. So each time your baby poos at home, you wouldn't wear him or her diaper. When I talk about time, potty training requires time. It needs you to devote time. So you could pick a period when you're free from work, maybe during your annual leave, when you'll be available at home with the kids. Or if you don't have annual leaves, you just have to be determined. Potty training takes your time. I must be sincere with you. So the first time you start, don't expect that your baby will grasp the concept immediately. Expect to see some struggling. You have to struggle at first, but don't give up. After all, they've been on diaper all along. So you don't expect them to quickly understand, unlearn, and relearn the new technique that you're about to teach them. Give them sufficient time to blend in. And also remember to reward and praise them. Once they sit on the potty, my dear, clap for them. Give them high five. Sing for them. Praise them. Tell them how much you're proud of them. That will go a long way to help them, get interested in what you're trying to do. So during the daytime potty training, once you wake up from bed, you say your morning prayers, get them to sit on the potty for at least 5 to 10 minutes. While you do that, ensure that you are on the WC, sit down in the bathroom with them, and then you can involve them in a conversation about what they are doing at that moment. Or you're trying to poo in your potty, you should try to wee in your potty first thing in the morning, stuff like that. They truly work. If you're able to achieve something tangible like making them to poo or wee in the potty, then you should praise them, reward them. And if otherwise, if they didn't poo or wee in the potty, go on to reward them again, praise them, and tell them what you expect the next attempts. Also, during the course of the day, you would have to continue to intermittently take them to the potty. Make them sit on the potty from time to time during the day. At least within 2 hours, ensure you put them on the potty at least once. Put them on the potty. Tell them, instruct them, give them instruction. Sit on your potty. Okay, try to poo-poo. And also, before I forget, you should note the signs they give. Most times they give signs when they want to poo-poo or when they want to wee as you begin to potty train. You may not. And those signs can be so salient that you won't get to note. So you should be very observant, master what they do, how they behave. Some of them, they can start touching their genitals. Others can start to cry. Some others can start to, squat. It may be a sign that they want to wee or they want to poo or they want to use the potty. So you ask them, do you want to poo? Try put them on the potty at least once every 2 hours during the course of the day. One more important thing to note is that, like I earlier said, it's good that you start the daytime potty training before you move on to do the nighttime potty training. I made that grave mistake and I paid dearly for it. I stopped putting on the diaper during the night, overnight, and I had to wash bedspread stained with poo-poo a couple of times. So in order to avoid that mistake and to, do away with that stress, you could be using diaper for them during the course of the night for some time. After they have mastered the heart during the day, maybe few weeks, then you can start to think of potty training them overnight. And that actually depends solely on you, because at night they are not conscious, they cannot coordinate themselves. So you need to wake up, carry them to the bathroom, and at this time you don't necessarily need to use a potty. You can just put them on the floor and instruct them wee. And there's this sign that has worked over the ages, and that is once you do that, after some time, they will wee. Don't give up, they will wee. So for the nighttime training, I would suggest that once you wake up to wee yourself, carry them along. And for the older kids that are still bedwetting, once you wake up, wake them up as well to wee. That should be done at least 2 times before daybreak. Do that at least twice before daybreak. And I can assure you, if you practice this, you will get excellent results. You should expect some level of resistance from your little ones, like I earlier said, but please don't get deterred, because they would often learn if you are consistent. When you give up, that's when they stop learning, but be consistent. Also note that there may be slight accidents. You should be very careful in order not to get them injured. Finally, let me give you tips that are very useful for you for night potty training. First thing, ensure that they take their supper as early as possible. I'll suggest they take their supper not later than 8 p.m. Let them eat dinner not later than 8 p.m. Also, avoid giving them fluid anytime from 8 p.m. Don't give them any more fluid. Also, sitting on the potty or instructing them to go and wee shortly before resorting to bed at night is very essential. And lastly, each time you wake up to wee, also wake them to wee, or you carry them along to the bathroom to wee. Or if you don't wake up to wee as a mom or as a dad, intermittently you just have to put in the energy, the work. You have to wake up and get them to wee. Also, I'd like to talk about drugs. So for older people who are still having urinary incontinence, who are still bedwetting, teenagers in secondary school that are still bedwetting, and you have adopted all these methods but they seem not to work, then you can get them some medications. One of such medication is the oxybutynin that you're seeing on your screen. But I would recommend you see a doctor before you go ahead to get this drug, because I'm not an advocate of self-medication. I made a video on superfoods that you can prepare. They are homemade food that you can prepare to make your kids healthy as well as make them chubbier. You can do well to check out that video. I want to sincerely thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope that you would watch the next one. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell button so that you can be the first to know when another video is set. Thank you guys so much for watching.